the database in which we are writing our queries. So now let me connect to the schema. So don't worry about the installation of this Oracle SQL developer. I'll be showing you. We'll take a separate session for that and we'll be installing. After installation, you can see this. So this worksheet, it would be available. In this, now we'll go for comparison or logical operators. Under logical operators, we are going to discuss and, or, in, not in, like, between. These six are the operators that are falling into the range of logical operators. Now, first, let me explain you what is logical and. For explaining logical and, let me take a simple truth table which is having x and y. So now let me write what are all the possible combinations that are possible. True, 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 false, false, true, and false, false. These are the combinations that are possible with two values. So now we'll go for what does and returns. And returns true only if all the conditions that are separated by and are true. Guys, once again, I'm stressing and returns true if all the conditions that are separated by and are true. If any one of the condition fails, means what would happen? It would return false only. For and to return true, all the conditions that are separated by and, they should be true. So here I'm writing true. Why I'm writing true? Here my x is true and y is true. Both the conditions are true. That is the reason and is written in true. What is the next combination I have? The next combination I have is x is true and y is false. One of the condition is failing. One of the condition fails means and it returns false only. So it is false. And next I have false and true. So my x is false and y is true. Again, one of the condition is false. If one of the condition is false means again and it is going to return false only. So now next we'll go for the two conditions. So here I have the two conditions, x and y. They are false only. If both are false means obviously and also returns false only. This is about logical and. Looking at four of these cases, we can simply conclude that logical and it returns true if only the conditions that are separated by and are true. This is about logical and. Now let us go for logical or. Logical or returns as true if any one of the condition that is separated by or is true. If one of the condition is true means my or returns true. So now we'll go for what are the possible combinations. In the first combination, my x is true and y is true. Both the statements are true. So or also returns true only. Next, x is true, y is false. One of the condition is true. If one of the condition is true means my or it returns true only. Next, I have x as false and y as true. One of the condition y is true here. So again, or it returns true only. In the next case, I have x as false and y as false. If both x and y are false means then or also results as false only. So guys, looking at this logical and logical or, we can simply conclude that logical or it returns true if one of the conditions separated by or is true means then it is going to return true only. But logical and it is returning true if both the conditions that are separated by and are true. This is about logical and logical or. So guys, are you clear up to this part?
Yes, Priyanka.
Every one of you. Akshata, Hanita. Anita, are you clear? Anita, are you there?
Yeah, Priyanka. So the kids were shouting, so that's the reason I
Yeah,
was
it's
on
okay.
mute.
Yeah, if you have any kind of doubt, please raise your hand. Yeah, okay, guys. So now we have seen what are the possible combinations with the truth tables. We have seen the output for and or. Now I'll be writing a simple query for that. How to write a simple query? Whatever the query we are writing, that would start with select keyword only. So here again, I'm writing my query starting with select keyword. After select, if I wanted to retrieve all the columns, I would be mentioning star. So I'm mentioning here same star. After that, I have mentioned from clause. Yeah, after from, we need to mention table name. From which table name I wanted to retrieve data. I wanted to retrieve data from employees table name. So I would mention employees. So now I'm done with writing the query. So I'll terminate my query. After terminating, what we need to do, and before that, so guys, can any one of you say what is the termination factor we would be using in SQL?
It is used for ending the query.
Raghavendra, come again.
Yeah, it is used for ending the query when
Yeah, it is
where
for
you are
ending
static,
the query. What is the termination factor?
like
Yeah, semicolon.
semicolon,
For
right?
terminating the query. In
Yeah.
simple English, we'll be terminating our sentence with a full stop. In the same way, in our SQL, to terminate the query, we will be using semicolon. So that means here I'm done with writing a query. So guys, now I'm running the query. You know pretty well how to run a query, so I'm not elaborating it much. You can see here, I have got you can see here, I have got what all are the columns present in the employees table and what is the data I have for that. So on this employee table only, I'll write my query by applying this logical and logical or. So now we'll go for writing of query, guys. Whatever the query we are writing, we as a ETL testers, we would be writing all the queries all the times, mostly 90% of the times we would be writing our query starting with select keyword only. So here I'm writing my query starting with select keyword. After select, now I wanted to retrieve everything from the table, all the columns from the table. If I wanted to retrieve all the columns, I need to mention star. So I have mentioned the star. After star, I have mentioned from clause. After from clause, we need to mention from which table I wanted to retrieve data. I wanted to retrieve data from employees. So I have mentioned the same. And so guys, for comparison operators, what we will be doing, will be writing where keyword immediately after the table name. And logical operators, it is an extension of the comparison operators. In comparison operators, we are comparing against a single condition. But if we wanted to compare against multiple condition means we would be using logical operators. That is the reason logical operators, it is called as an extended version of the comparison operators. So in the same way as comparison operators, what is the keyword we'll be writing after the table name? The keyword that will be writing after the table name is where. So I have mentioned the same. And after this where keyword, I can give multiple conditions. But those multiple conditions need to be separated by logical and or logical or. So now let me write my first condition. So here I'm giving my first condition like salary is equals to 24,000 and so now I can give the next condition. The next condition I wanted to give is department ID is equals to 90 and then I have terminated my query. So guys, after terminating, we need to run the query. So now let me run the query. So I have got all the values from the employees table where this both conditions have satisfied, where salary is 24,000 and department ID is 90. As this both conditions have satisfied, I can able to see this record in the employees table. So now for the same query, to combine the same conditions, we would be using logical OR and will able to find the difference. So before that, let us write the query. How do we write the query? We will be writing our query starting with select keyword. So I have mentioned the same. After select, I have mentioned star. Immediately after star, I have mentioned from clause. After from clause, we need to give table name. From which table name I wanted to retrieve data. I wanted to retrieve data from employees table name. So I have mentioned the same. After the table name, I have given keyword where. Immediately after the table name, we are supposed to give where keyword. So I have given the same. After that, we can give the number of conditions. How many conditions we want? That many number of conditions we can give. So here I have given condition like salary is equals to 24,000 and then I have used logical OR. So guys, I said we can combine n number of conditions, but between the conditions we need to use our keyword either and or. So here I'm using or after giving my first condition and I'm giving my next condition. The next condition I wanted to give is department ID is equals to 90 and then I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So guys, now I'm done with writing the query. So in the first case, you please remember guys, I have only got one record as the output. Now we'll go for this query. So now let me run the query. You can see guys, I have got here all the values where the salary is 24,000 or the department ID is 90. So in the first condition, in the first record, you observe the salary is 24,000, the department ID is 90. Both are true. So since this record has got displayed to us in the output, but in the next query, you can ask me, Madam, the salary is 17,000, but in the query we have mentioned our salary as 24,000. Why these both records have been displayed to us in the output? Why they have displayed even after mentioning salary as 24,000? They have been displayed to us in the output because in the query we have used logical or. If we use logical or means if any one of the conditions satisfies means that record will be displayed in the output. Here the condition that is matching is department ID. Department ID 90 condition is matching. That is the reason these records have been displayed to us in the output. Looking at these things, we can again say that logical or it returns as true if any one of the condition is true here. If department ID 90 is satisfying, then it has been displayed that record to us in the output. But in the logical or, we have got all the records where both the conditions have been matched. So now let us go for writing of one more query. So how do we write our query, guys? We would be starting it with the select keyword. Whatever the query it is, irrespective of operator we are using, we need to write our query starting with select keyword. After select, I wanted to retrieve all the columns from the table. If you wanted to retrieve all the columns from the table, you need to mention star. So I have mentioned the same. After the star, I have used from clause. After from clause, I have mentioned my table name as employees. After the table name, I have given my keyword as where. Immediately after the table name, we would be giving where keyword. After giving where keyword, I'm giving my conditions like salary is equals to 10,000 and department ID is equals to 50. These are the both conditions I have given and now I'm done with giving the conditions. So I would be terminating my query with a simple semicolon. So after ending the query, we need to run the query. How to run the query? Simply hitting a green color play button, which is present on the worksheet. So I have got a output. I do not got any output here. Why I do not got any output here? I didn't get any output because there is not even a single record in the employees table that is satisfying these two conditions. Now we'll be writing same query using logical OR. So how to write the query? We would be writing our query starting with the select keyword. After select, now I wanted to retrieve all the columns from the table. So I would mention star. Immediately after star, I'll mention from clause. After from clause, I'll give my table as employees. Since I wanted to retrieve data from employees, so I have mentioned my table name as employees. After that, I have used ware keyword. Immediately after the table name, we need to use ware keyword. After giving the ware keyword, we can give conditions. So here I'm giving my conditions like salary is equals to 10,000. After this first condition, I'm using logical OR, and the next condition I'm giving is department ID is equals to 50. And so these are the both conditions I wanted to give. And after giving the conditions, I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query, guys. You can see I have got n number of records in the employees table. Here we have got a record of salary 8,000, 8,200, 6,500, 2,700, 3,300. This is because in the query we have used logical OR. So for all these salaries, the department ID is matching. So as this condition is true, all these records have been retrieved to us in the output. In the last condition, the salary is 10,000, but the department ID is 80. So you can ask me now. Yeah, why this 80 record has been displayed to us in the output? It has been displayed to us depending upon the salary condition. Here I have given my salary as a 10,000 and the same 10,000 is present. If one of the conditions satisfies true, means that record will be displayed to us in the output. And here my salary is matching. That is the reason we have got this particular record is in the output. By looking at all of these examples, we can conclude that logical AND it returns true only if both the conditions that are separated by AND are true. And logical OR returns as true if any one of the conditions separated by OR are true. So guys, this is all about logical AND and logical OR. Are you guys clear?
Yes, Priyanka.
So now we'll go for the next logical operator we have. What is the next logical operator we have? The next logical operator we have is in. For that, we'll be writing our queries. So how do we write our query? We would be writing our query starting with select keyword. After select keyword, I wanted to retrieve all the columns. So I would mention star. After star, I have mentioned from clause. After from, I would give my table name as employees. I wanted to retrieve data from employees. So immediately after from clause, I have given my table name as employees. And immediately after the table name, we need to use where keyword. After using where keyword, now I can give my condition when to use this particular in. When I wanted to compare a single column against a multiple values. Consider I wanted to compare against salary in. Now I wanted to compare it against multiple values. 10,000, 24,000. 15,000, 17,000. I wanted to compare against multiple values. If I wanted to compare against multiple values means is equal to operator will not work. If you wanted to compare a single column against a multiple values means you need to use in here. And you can ask me, madam, is there any limit for number of values that in would be accepting? There is no limit for number of values the in would be accepting. You can give n number of values up to your choice. After we are done with all the values, I would terminate my query. So running this query, what is the output I would be getting? I would be getting all the values from the employees table where the salary is 10,000 and 24,000, 15,000, 17,000. All of these values will be taken into consideration. You can see I have got all the values 24,000, 17,000 and a 10,000. There is no salary in the employees table which is 15,000. So that is the reason this 15,000 record has not been present to us in the output. Now let me write one more query. So how would be writing our query? We would be writing our query starting with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, I have given my table from clause. Immediately after from clause, I have given my table name as employees. After giving the table name, I have given where keyword. After giving where keyword, I have given my condition as. Now I would be comparing against a manager ID column. So here I am writing manager ID is equals to 100. And then now let me terminate my query, guys. So now let me run the query. So I have got all the values where my manager ID is 100. But I wanted to compare against 3 values. At that place is equals to will not work out. At that time you need to write here in. And you can mention what are the values you wanted to give. The values here I wanted to give are 100, 146 and 101. So I have given all the values and I have closed the parenthesis and then I have terminated my query. So now let me run the query. You can see here, guys, I have got 100 manager ID, 101 manager ID and 146. Only these manager IDs have been retrieved to us in the output. So this is about using n. If you wanted to compare a column name against a multiple values, you need to use n. But if you do not want to include some particular values, if you do not wanted to include some particular values for the salary, if you wanted to exclude those values, at that time you can use not n and you can write your query. So how do we write our query? We would be starting with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, mention from clause. After from clause, given table name as employees. After giving the table name as employees, given where keyword. Immediately after the table name, we need to give where keyword. After giving the where keyword, so now I have given my condition as salary, not in. Salary not in, and you can mention some values. It is like 10,000, 17,000, 24,000. And then we'll be terminating our query. And now let me run the query. Excluding these values, I would be getting all the values in the salary column. You can observe, guys, there is nowhere a salary of either 10,000 or a 17,000 or a 24,000. Since we have excluded these values, if you wanted to exclude multiple values against a single column name, you can use not in. So now let me write one more query. So now I'll write my query starting with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, I have mentioned from clause. After from clause, given my table name as employees. Now I would be giving where manager ID not equals to 100. If you wanted to compare against a single value, you can use this not equals to. So now let me run the query. You can see, guys, I have got all the values from the employees table except this manager ID 100. But if you wanted to exclude some more values, at that time, you need to use this not in. And then you need to open the parenthesis and then you need to mention what are the values you wanted to exclude. I wanted to exclude 100, 146 and 101. So I have mentioned the same, close the parenthesis and then I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query, guys. You can see I have got all the values from the employees table excluding this 100, 101 and 146. So this is about in and not in. In means simply including, not in means excluding. Guys, clear?
Yes, Priyanka.
Guys, every one of you, please respond.
Yes, Priyanka.
Yeah, if you respond back means it would give us some energy.
Priyanka, I have one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, suppose we have like 100, like 1,000 records.
Raghavendra,
like-
can you be a bit louder?
Yeah, so suppose we have 1,000 record and I am using the in logical operator, and then
Yeah.
I have to write like that number one by one. So is there
Yeah,
any
one after
is there any
another, you
option?
need to write all the numbers.
Yeah. So that I don't want to write because it will take time. So
Yeah.
is there any way to do that?
Yeah, there will be ways for that, but that is a complex query. I would be explaining you them in the later sessions. If you say right now, you will be confused.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, at this point of time, you please remember that if you wanted to include these values, this is the thing. If you wanted to
And
exclude, this is the thing you need to
Yeah,
mention.
can we use and or together in the single line?
Yeah, we can use.
Okay. So like if you are using both, then like suppose if you are using the and or also. So
Yeah, first it will
that-
perform. Consider you have given and between first two things. So it would perform and of those two things. You will get some result. With that, the or will be performed.
okay.
So at
Okay,
that time,
thank
this
you.
logical table will come into picture. It will take 3 combinations. True, true, true. True, false, false. 8 combinations will come into picture.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Clear, Raghav?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, now we'll go for the next logical operators we have. The next logical operators we have are like and between. So like it is same like is equals to. In the place of is equals to, if I wanted to compare a particular column against a single value, I would be using like. But this like, it has a bit elaboration. What is that? How it can be compared? I would be explaining you in the latter classes. And as of time, you can please remember that like means it can be used same like is equals to operator. Now we'll go for writing of query. How do we write our query? We will be writing our query starting with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, given from clause. After given from clause, given table name as employees. After employees, I have used ware keyword. And after ware keyword, so I'm giving my condition like salary is equals to 20 salary. In the place of is equals to, will mention like and then will give the value. So I have given the value and I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query, guys. I would be getting all the values from the employees table where the salary is 24,000. So now we'll write one more query. So how to write the query? We would be writing our query starting with select. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, mention from clause. After from clause, given table name as employees. After we have given the table name as employees, I have given immediately where keyword. After where keyword, I have given my column name as employee ID, and after the column name, I have mentioned like, and I have given my value as 104. Using like, here we can give only one value. So after giving that one value, I have closed the and I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query. I have got all the values from the employees table where employee ID is 104. This is about like logical operator. The next logical operator we have is between. So now we'll go for between. So guys, I wanted to get a range of values. I wanted to know the details of all the employees who are earning salary between 10,000 and 12,000. In such cases, our between operator will come into picture. So now we'll go for writing of query. How do we write our query? We will be writing our query starting with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, mention from clause, given table name as employees. Immediately after giving the table name, we'll go for giving of var keyword. After giving var keyword, so now I have given my condition like salary between. Between always follows with and. So please do remember that, guys. Whenever you are using between, you need to write and also. So here I have given between 10,000 and 12,000. And then I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query. You can see, guys, I have got all the values from the employees table where salary is lying in the range of 10,000 and 12,000. This 10,000 and 12,000 will also be taken into consideration. Now we'll go for writing of next query. The next query I have is, it would start with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, mention from clause. After from clause, given table name as employees. After giving the table name as employees, given var keyword. After giving var keyword, I have given my condition like employee ID between 100. And we know that or between always follows with add. So I have mentioned and I have mentioned my latter value as 107, and I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query, guys. You can see I have got all the values from the employees table between the employee IDs 100 to 107. With this, we have done logical operator, guys. Are everyone clear with all the logical operators we have discussed that are and, or, in, not in, like, and between?
Yes, Priyanka.
So now we'll go for the next operators we have. The next operators we have are SQL compound operators. So guys, compound operators, the name itself is saying it is a mixed operators. If we are trying to clubbing some kind of operators with the other thing, we are going to get the compound operators. What are we trying to combine here? We are trying to combine arithmetic operators in combination with equals to. So arithmetic operators when combined with equals to, we call such operator as a compound operators. So what are the compound operators we have? The compound operators we have are add equals to, subtract equals to, multiply equals to, division equals to, modulus equals to. These are the different compound operators we have. Now we'll go for writing of query for each of this compound operator. So what are the compound operators we have? Add equals to, subtract equals to, multiplication equals to, division equals to, modulus equals to. These are the compound operators we have. Now we'll go for writing of query for each of this operator. So how do we write our query, guys? We would be writing our query starting with select keyword. So I have mentioned the same. After select, I have mentioned star. This star represents all the columns. I wanted to retrieve all the columns. So I have mentioned star. After star, I have mentioned from clause. After from clause, given my table name as employees. I wanted to retrieve data from employees table name. So I have mentioned the same. And after giving employees, I have given ware keyword. After giving ware keyword, now I'm giving my condition. And this condition, I need to use, guys, addition operator in combination with equals to. So here I'm giving my condition like salary plus 2000 is equals to 10,000, and then I have terminated my query. In this query, guys, you please observe, I have given addition operator in combination with equals to. So it is a compound operator. So now let me run the query, guys. You can see, guys, I have got the value where the salary is 8,000. If my salary is 8,000, then only this particular condition will be satisfied. And in the condition, we have used arithmetic operator in combination with equals to. So it is a compound operator. Now we'll go for the next compound operator. We have the next compound operator we have is subtract equals to. For that, we'll be writing a query. We would be writing our query starting with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, mention from clause. After that, given table name as employees. After that, I have given var keyword. After giving var keyword, I am giving my condition as salary minus 2,000 is equals to 10,000. After giving the condition, I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query, guys. I would be getting all the values from the employees table where salary is 12,000. If salary is 12,000, then only this particular condition will be satisfying. And coming to the query part, I have used subtraction and combination with equals to. So it is a subtract equals to compound operator. Now we'll go for the next thing, that is multiplication equals to. So how to write a query for that? Whatever the operator is, we would be writing our query starting with select keyword. So I have mentioned the same. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, mention from clause, given table name as employees. After that, given var keyword. After giving var keyword, I given my condition as salary into 2 is equals to 3,000. And then I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. And now let me run the query, guys. So there is no salary from the employee table, which is matching with the particular given condition. Let me give here 6,000. So again, once again, run with the query. So I have got all the values from the employees table where salary is 3,000. If my salary is 3,000, then only this particular condition will be satisfying. Apart from that, in the query, I have used multiplication operator in combination with equals to. So it is a compound operator. Now we'll go for writing of next query. For the next query, I have written my query starting with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, mention from clause. After mentioning from clause, given table name as employees. After that, I have given var keyword. After giving var keyword, I have given my condition like salary by 2 is equals to 6,000. And then I have terminated my query with a simple semicolon. So now let me run the query, guys. Here I have got all the values from the employees table where salary is 12,000. If salary is 12,000, then only this particular condition will be satisfying. So you can see guys, here my salary is 12,000 and in the query part, I have used division in combination with equals to. Division in combination with equals to, it is a compound operator. So now we are left with only one compound operator, that is modulus operator. For that, we'll be writing a query. We would be writing our query starting with select keyword. After select, I have mentioned star. After star, mention from clause, given table name as employees. After giving the table name as employees, I have given where keyword immediately after the table name. After giving where keyword, so here now I'm giving condition mod of salary comma 2 is equals to 0, and then I have terminated my query. So guys, what does modulus operator returns is? Modulus operator returns as reminder. In this case, what I'm trying to retrieve? I'm trying to retrieve all the values when a salary is divided by 2. If it is yielding a reminder of 0, I need to get such records in the employee table. If it is yielding a reminder other than 0, means I should not get those values in the employees table. So now let me run the query, guys. So these are all the values, all the salary values. When divided by 2, they would yield us only a reminder of 0. And coming to the query part, I have used mod operator in combination with equals to. So it is a compound operator. In general, we are not going to use this compound operators much, guys, but you need to know what is compound operators also. With this, we have done compound operator, guys. So guys, are you clear with this part? No, you need to mention mod only, Sudhir. That is the way our database engineers has designed our software. That is the reason. If you wanted to mention mod means you need to write this mod only. This percentile symbol will not work. Why it will not work? Database engineers has designed in such a way. In whatever they have designed, we need to write the query in such a way only. So guys, remaining people, are you clear with the operators we have discussed?
Yes.
So guys, with this, we have done operators.